I'm Elisa, thank you for joining me, and we're going to start the practice kneeling today. Now, if kneeling is something that you find very uncomfortable, particularly for your knees, then find a comfortable alternative way of sitting instead. You could sit cross-legged, of course, but make sure that you feel that you've got a supported spine and nod your hands to your thighs. Once you've got yourself comfortable, whether it's kneeling or whether it's cross-legged instead, let your shoulders relax. Softly close your eyes, unclench your teeth, and completely relax your jaw. And take a conscious breath in through the nose, and just be conscious and aware of that breath as it moves up through the nasal pathways into the midbrain, down into the belly, up into the chest. And as you breathe out, just observe the breath as it departs, flows out through the nostrils over your top lip. Now for the next few moments, just sit quietly, relaxing your shoulders, slackening your jaw, and observing the breath as it ebbs and flows. Feel your belly expanding each time you breathe in, lightly contracting each time you breathe out. Be aware of energy ascending the spine as you inhale, and the force of elimination letting go, travelling down the spine each time you breathe out. Find yourself, breath by breath, moment by moment, becoming that little bit more connected with what's going on inside your body, and more disconnected from everything that's going on beyond your own skin. As you observe your breath, feelings and sensations within your body, allow yourself the opportunity to simply inquire, how are you feeling? Ask yourself how you're feeling mentally, how you're feeling emotionally, how you're feeling spiritually, energetically, how you're feeling physically. As you open your eyes, take your fingertips out wide and just imagine painting a great big rainbow. Bring your hands above your crown and interlock your fingers and push away the ceiling with the roots of your fingers, the palms of your hands. Draw your outer armpits back and down. As you exhale, lean to the right and draw your left upper arm out of your peripheral sight line as you peer up towards where the wall meets the ceiling on your left. Lean a little bit further if you can, and breathe via the armpit all the way down to that left hip. Now come back to the midline with a deep breath in, and lean to the left with a slow breath out, and then breathe strategically into your side ribs, your right waist. Come back to the midline, inhaling again, and exhale as you angel wing your hands behind your tail. Rethread the fingers, offer your heart to the heavens, and draw your knuckles to the floor beyond your toes. Pocket together the flesh between the shoulder blades and smile your lips and collarbones. Take another deep breath in and fill the belly, fill the chest. As you exhale, hinge at the hip crease and begin to fold, letting your knuckles potentially rise upwards towards the sky. And as your knuckles rise, not forcing your will on your shoulders, soften your elbows, slightly round your arms. Imagine pulling your fingers apart from their bind. Perhaps bringing your forehead all the way down to the ground, but not a deal breaker if your brow won't go that low. As you remain in child pose, let your knuckles float back down to your tail and sweep your hands out from behind you, out in front of you. And as I come sideways on, just allow yourself a moment or two just to reach your fingertips out in front of you. Take a little rock from side to side, taking your torso from thigh to thigh. or rock from side to side, come back to the midline. Thread your left arm underneath your right armpit and sink down onto the side of your shoulder and head. Keep inching your fingertips forwards as far as they'll go and reaching your sitting bones back towards your heels. Breathe steadily into that twist. Feel the pull of gravity, that sense of sinking deeper and deeper and deeper beneath your skin. Now extract your arm and reframe your ear with it. Reach forwards with your fingertips and then take that thread needle to the second side, sinking onto the side of your shoulder, the side of your face. Again, try to inch forwards your left fingertips, peer out underneath your armpit, and encourage your mind to settle in a peaceful, quiet place. Observing the breath, the feelings and sensations within your body as they come and go. Now as you re-extract the arm and frame your ears, come back to extended child pose. Creep your fingertips a little bit further forwards again. And then from here, sweep your hands all the way back alongside your feet. Roll over the tips of your fingers with sit bones on heels, ground your palms behind your toes, and lift your seat off of your heels. Let your head drop back and be hammocked by the flesh between the shoulder blades. Really thrust the hips towards the heavens. As you exhale, land your sit bones back on your heels, re-sandwich your hands on the floor by your feet, and try to bring a little bit of weight to bear upon your brow. Do that again, inhaling. Roll over your fingertips. Squish down your palms. Squeeze together your triceps and shoulder blades. Lift your hips and your heart. Exhale, land your seat on your heels. Re-sandwich your hands on the floor by your feet and ground your brow. Now sweep the hands out from behind you again and rise up to kneeling on all fours. And as you come to all fours, exhale with your tailbone travelling between your thighs and cave your belly and dome your back towards the ceiling. Now tuck under your toes, soft bend in your elbows, and one bone at a time, work your way through the spine into dogtail. Lifting your gaze through heart and eyes higher than your eye line. Exhale, press down your toenails, tailbone tucks between your thighs, cave the belly, arch the back, scaredy cat. Deep breath in. Again, move through the individual vertebrae. Lifting your gaze through heart and eyes again. One more the same. Exhale as you transition into your cat arch. Caving your belly, arching your back. And inhale as you tuck the toes under again. And come to dogtail. Now find yourself coming to a neutral spine, nice flat back. Start to circle your hips with your navel drawn to your spine. Start small and gradually begin to increase the range of movement. Shifting weight bearing forwards towards the wrist and sinking your sit bones back in the direction of your heels. Now you might want to close your eyes and just ride on that breath, increasing your range of movement. From the loops that you're creating, begin to turn those loops into figures of 8. And as your navel forms those figures of 8, shifting your head and your hips in opposite directions and letting your spine begin to behave in the manner of a snake, individually articulating each vertebrae. Once you've got into a steady rhythm in the first direction, wind back in the opposite one. Start with the loops, the figures of 8. And as you travel in the second direction, after a period of time, begin to find that the movement becomes more naturally in this second direction than perhaps it did initially. Gradually Turn those loops, those figures of 8, back into the navel circles again. And just like you increased the spiral before, so this time, gradually find yourself reducing it until eventually you're creating a little spiral of energy with the navel of your body spiraling over the navel of your mat. As you come to stillness, exhale and reverse back onto your heels for extended child again. Then inhale and shift the weight bearing forwards through the wrists, soften the elbows, smile your lips and collarbones, and come into supported cobra. Tuck your chin into your collarbones, arch your back, and retreat back onto your heels, arms extended. Shift forwards, hips to the roots of your thumbs. Travel your way through the thoracic vertebrae, lifting your gaze again. Exhale, hollow back onto your heels. Do that twice more. Inhale as you come in like a wave, washing up on the shore. And exhale as you suck back like an outgoing wave. Inhale to shift forwards, lifting your gaze through heart and eyes. Exhale as you cave your belly, dome your back, and reach back onto your heels. Bring your hands back alongside your feet. Soften the elbows. Let your shoulders be slag. And see if you can bring a little bit of weight to bear upon your brow now. Listen to your body, listen to your breath. And iron out any speed bumps in your breathing. Now tuck your chin into the cradle of your collarbones. Curl away back up through each vertebrae. Interlock your fingers and send your knuckles to the floor. As you send your knuckles to the floor, lift them as high away from your tail as you can. And then bring your fists to the right of your waist. Really cinch the fists into the side of your waist and squish your palms together. Squeeze your elbows, triceps and shoulder blades together. And incline your head over your right shoulder. Play around with the angles and the edges as you introduce this stretch into the left side of your neck and upper traps. Keep leaning against your fists, keep wedging your fists into your waist, and slightly lean your head back as well as over to the right. As you continue to breathe with steadiness and ease, come back to the midline and simply switch the fist to the opposite side of your body. Again, press your palms together, elbows together, triceps together, and lean your head back over your left shoulder. Again, try to lean your head back over the shoulder until you find that stretch in the right side of your neck and upper traps. As you come back to the midline, release your fingers and just circle your hands, lubricate your wrists. Circle your hands in one direction, flowing through your fingers and your thumbs. And then, like you're conducting a little orchestra there in front of you, circle your hands back in the opposite direction. Once you've lubricated your wrists and your fingers, still that activity and take a deep breath in. Raise your hands back to prayer above your crown. And as you exhale, deliver your fingertips between your shoulder blades, lean your head against your wrists, and wing out the elbows of both arms. As you lean back against your wrists and wing out the elbow tips, smile your lips and collarbones once again towards the sky. Now interlock the fingers and cradle the back of your head with your palms. Frame your neck with your thumbs and continue to incline your head as you peer upwards along the bridge of your nose to the sky. Exhale as you squeeze together your elbows, bow your head to your heart. Inhale, lean back into your palms, bloat the belly, fill the chest. Exhale again, squeeze. Inhale, exhaling. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Last one of these. Exhale, squeeze and traction those shoulder blades apart. And as you inhale, come right back to where you began. Release your hands back down by your hips. Pop your sitting bones to one side or the other of your heels and cross your legs, walking your feet wider apart. Continuing to wake up the side body, take your left arm up and overhead and sink your right forearm to the floor. Release, bring your left hand to the left of your hip and lean over to the left. Inhaling, lean right. And then back up again to the midline. Keep working now from side to side, letting your spine become that little bit more flexible and waking up the side body as you move to the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, slowly, steadily, mindfully. Once you've practiced one more set of these, meet me with your right hand on the floor to the right of your hip. Sink your forearm to the floor, bring your left arm overhead, and then start to form some big circles with your left fingertips. As your left arm circumnavigates the shoulder in one direction, keep leaning into that side stretch. And then continue to lean into that side stretch as you transition your arm in the opposite direction. Once you've circled your arm in both directions pretty much evenly, come back into the side bend with your arm close to the side of your face but out of your peripheral side. Turn your palm to the wall behind and the tip of your thumb to the ceiling. Come back through the midline and shift the left hand to the floor. Sink the forearm, the elbow to the ground, and frame the right side of your face with your right arm. And then perform those great big circles again with your right fingertips. Circle one way, full range of movement, seamless transitions between one rotation and the next, and then circle back the opposite one. Once you've circled in the second direction, an equal amount of times or thereabouts to the first, bring your right arm to frame your ear and peer up past your tricep while turning your palm to the wall behind you and your thumb towards the ceiling above. Now come back to the midline with both hands adrift of your hips. Now inhale, steeple your fingertips once again above your crown. Exhale, bring your hands behind your tail. Reintroduce the interlock to your fingers again. Send your knuckles to the floor and your heart to the heavens. Try not to throw the neck. Now flexing the feet and slowly folding, hinging at the hip crease. Encouraging those knuckles to rise. Without effort, without force, without strain, just humbly bowing head and heart towards the earth again. By keeping your feet flexed, actively switched on, that should protect your ankles, knees and hips from feeling overly strained. As your knuckles rise, don't impose your will on your shoulders, but just encourage those knuckles to rise gently, kindly, compassionately, with humility. Imagine now being pulled up by helping hands as you slowly rise. And as you come all the way up, just change the cross of your legs to pop the opposite shin in front. Hold your hands to a kneecap each. Draw up to your full height and blink close your eyes. As you take that deep breath in, feel yourself being filled to the brim with breath. And as you exhale, hollow the belly, hands on your knees, press your kneecaps into your palms and prise the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, travelling all the way up through the spine from the tail, lifting your gaze through heart and eyes, seated dog tail. Exhale again, scoop the belly right into the back rib cage and bow your head to your heart. Gaze to the navel. Inhaling as you flow through the vertebrae, one bone at a time. Exhale as you lean back, pressing kneecaps into palms, stretching out the muscles of your upper back. One more the same as you inhale and work your way through the vertebrae. And exhale as you come into that seated cat. Come right back up and find an upright spine, and then start to circle your navel. Gradually spiraling your navel outwardly until you're creating a big sweeping circle with your navel all the way around the rim of your pelvis. Involve your shoulders. Try not to lead with your chin, rather lead with your heart. Circling one way, making smooth transitions between one circle and the next. Maybe closing your eyes so that you can really feel your way more easily inside your own body. And then, without changing your rhythm, dial back in the opposite direction, still involving your shoulders, still encouraging your chin to stay slightly tucked in. As you gather your navel to your spine, as you increase the rotations, when you headed in the first direction, this time gradually begin to reduce them, sitting a little bit more upright until you find yourself coming to a point where, to anyone that observes you, you're sitting perfectly still and your spine is suspended from your crown just like a plumb line. Sit quietly and bring your hands to your heart. Take a few moments just to focus on your heart center now. And with your hands resting on your heart, just be aware of your heartbeat, pounding into the palms of your hands. The breath moving in and out of your body through the nose. And with your eyes softly closed, focus your internal gaze upon the center of your brow. Sit quietly until you feel ready to move and get on with your day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.